Are you planning an upcoming event? And are you using Facebook in the best way you could to promote that event? Hi, I'm Sheryl Loch with Ginger Roots Media, and I have with me today.
Hey guys, Lany Sullivan with Events by Lany. Today we're talking about Facebook, my favorite platform. Actually, I hate it, so this is all her. But so let's really talk about Facebook. Everybody loves it. Everybody's on it. I think I'm probably the only person in the world that hates it. But why do we want to use Facebook when we're, pre-event, before the event, to use it for promotion?
For one, you're going to use it to look at your audience and build a community around you, your brand, your event. And in a previous video, we went all through about checking out your audience. Do you even have an audience to have an event? So that's in a previous video. But in this one, we're going to say you've already been through that. You have decided on an event. You're going to do it. So,
Yay!
and you've hired Lany to help you.
Yes, absolutely.
And the thing is, Facebook is used by a lot of people.
It is.
No, not everybody loves it, but there's a lot of people on there, and it is a very easy place to gather people. One good place, everybody can meet, people can post, and things like that. So you're going to use a branded Facebook page, not your personal profile. Something else we covered in another video that is a pet peeve. You want a branded Facebook page because you're not building friends, you're building a brand community.
You're building your audience. So yeah, make sure you guys...
Your brand audience.
Yeah, your brand audience. So yeah, make sure you guys go back and watch that last video that we talk about it, because you don't want to build it on your personal profile at all. Okay, keep going. I just had to put my 2 cents in there.
And as far as why you want to use a branded page rather than your personal page, like I said, you're going to build your brand. You're going to build the community around your brand. You have more options. You can have managers, so you can have a social media manager or partners that can also post if it's a page. You can have more analytics and stats to see what people are actually doing. And scheduling is my big thing. Any site that won't allow me to pre-schedule things irritates the daylights out of me. You know, I can maybe use another tool, but this is an advantage because as your event starts building, you're going to be too busy to go in there each day and get everything arranged and make your post. When I have another video that talks about making your social media content in bulk, so you can go in and schedule everything. And as this event builds and your community builds, this is going to save you a lot of time. So that's another advantage. It's just, there's no reason to do it on your profile. End of story.
Right. I agree. I don't like Facebook anyway, so I agree.
Okay. We know you don't like Facebook. Every video she says she doesn't like Facebook, but she spent all morning on Facebook. I witnessed it.
Giving shit to my mom. Okay, anyway.
So groups versus a Facebook page.
Yes.
Groups can be great, but you don't have as much control over them. People aren't as likely to join them if they don't know you. So a group can be made once people have committed to attending your event. They can be used some during your live event, but don't just make a group and think you're going to replace a Facebook branded page with a group. I don't advise that, especially if you don't already have a huge audience.
And if you already have a group, you can obviously add people to that group for that event, but honestly, I wouldn't, because if you've already got a group running for your audience and for your, your coaching business or whatever it is that you're doing, I would set up a separate group that's specifically targeted to the actual buyers and attendees of your event. And that way you have a specific direct message that you're sending to them. every day, every week as you're leading up to the event. Otherwise, if you have a group member in your original group that are not attending, you're going to disenfranchise them because they're not really interested in your event. If they're not buying and they're not attending, you're going to push them away. So definitely work and think about having two separate groups. Yes, it's a little bit more work, but your new group is tied to your branded Facebook page rather than your coaching group or your business group or whatever the group is that you already have set up. Tying that to your Facebook page doesn't correlate as well.
Do you feel better about groups now?
No.
Okay, so let's look at what you're going to use this page for. As you have building it, of course, that takes time. So you want to put a lot of details on there when it comes to your event. So you have your branded page, you're going to start pushing your event. You're going to list a bunch of not just sales, but hype about your event, where it's going to be, when it's going to be. You're going to want to be able to use this for your customer service. So as you start talking about your event, you're going to have people asking you all kinds of questions, and you're going to need to be in there, and you're going to need to answer them, or have your partners or social media people, whoever is helping you manage that page, is going to have to answer them. No ifs, ands, or buts, people.
Right.
If people are asking questions like, is it a 3-day event? Where's it going to be? Does the price include how many speakers? You have to have someone in there with full knowledge. And this is something that a lot of them lack, is if she's planning your event and I'm running your social media, granted, because we work together, I can send her a quick message and say, hey, this is something over and above and beyond. I haven't had this come up yet. But for a lot of people, that's not always an option. And as the event gets closer, she's busy, or she's working with the people holding the event, the venues, getting everything lined up. She doesn't need me going in and typing in and sending her requests for little crap. You want to make sure that your social media person, your page managers, have every possible Q&A, FAQ, troubleshooting possible.
Yep.
Because they are your customer service. And you don't want them beeping you for everything. And trust me, I don't want to beep you for everything, because when you're busy, you're doing something else, even if it's family time. I'm sitting here going into panic mode because this person has asked something, they want to buy a ticket, they have a question. I want to be able to get them that answer so they can pull out that credit card, buy the ticket, and you've got a sale. I've done my job. So keep that in mind as you're planning your event.
And all of your content that you're promoting in the pre-event promotion space needs to just be dripped and shown value. So what is that speaker going to give? What, if you go back to the landing page video where we talk about, creating the value proposition and showing what the benefits are, pull those benefits into your content. And so make sure that your audience, if that they're watching, that they actually know the value that they're going to get from your Facebook page, not just from your landing page. And don't make it a sales pitch every time. Like, it's so hard. Like, I'm running a promotion for one of my products right now, and I got to make sure that I'm just not doing a pitch every time. Like, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to help 100 business owners create amazing events. Well, how can I serve? So how are you serving your audience with this event? It's not about just selling the ticket, it's how are you serving them. So make sure that you put that in there, because if it's just self-serving and I just want to sell a ticket so that way I make the money and forget the rest of you, and most of you are not going to be like that. There's going to be a few of you that are, and don't do it. But but what you're going to be serving your community and your audience and your tribe. So just make sure that really comes through in your content, in your pre-event promotion.
Well, and with not being just self-serving, you've got speakers and you've got sponsors. These are two other people you're going to use that Facebook page to promote. So you're going to want to be able to put up different images with what they're going to be talking about. And even if you don't know what they're talking about yet, there's a specific topic, do an intro for them. Now, if you've watched the other videos about using YouTube, you should be making YouTube videos of your speakers, your sponsors, your updates too, so those can get shared. I mean, not everything has to be exact. You can have some nice memes or quotes about, from your different speakers or highlights of your sponsors. So this isn't just come to my event, come to my event, come to my event. You're going to promote the other people involved in a good light. And so sometimes that takes a little creativity with some speakers and sponsors. You have to really look deep to find content. You may have to create some. But most speakers have blogs, they have YouTube channels, they have all kinds of stuff you can pull from. So you're highlighting them. As you highlight it on the branded page and you've tagged your speakers or your sponsors, there's a very good chance they are going to reshare it to their people. If you have done this on your personal Facebook page, it's going to drive people to your personal Facebook page. That's why we use a branded page, so it drives them back to your branded event page so they can say, hey, this is one of my favorite people. I follow them. They're going to be at this event. It's not far from my house. I'm going just so I can meet this one speaker. So there's a lot of advantages to promoting everyone else. And if you've made all of this other content, you'll have a lot that will filter and be shared through your Facebook page.
Yeah, and you can, when you start planning your event, you've got your speakers nailed down, you can pre-record some videos with them and do, quick little 2, 3, 5, 10-minute type interviews to promote the event, to talk about why they're coming, why they're excited, what they're going to talk about, what they want to give back to your community. And you can, have those prepared to be putting out, on YouTube to share to Facebook. And you could schedule some, live interviews and do, I think, Be Live TV, and you can do Zoom, and you can pop those into your Facebook pages and your groups to, to talk with your speakers live. Just be careful how much you really put into live. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, depending on if you want to use YouTube or Facebook Live, and you should be using both, honestly. But you're not going to take your Facebook Lives and put them on YouTube. Please don't do that.
They look ugly.
You've got two different audiences and two different things. But can you use Facebook Live to do some interviews? Absolutely. You can use Facebook Live to show the venues like we talked about before for YouTube. Pretty much anything we mentioned on the YouTube side could be done via Facebook also. But I don't want you to sit and say, I'm going to do everything on Facebook because that's where my audience currently is. Because while that's great and fine,
you're missing the boat.
One of the biggest things with Facebook is as soon as that post goes through someone's stream, if it even goes through their freaking stream, it's gone. It's down your page. I may never see it again. I may go to your Facebook page and never see it. I may be searching for my favorite speaker, my favorite sponsor, and I may never see it. Whereas with YouTube has the search capability. So not just today when it goes through the stream or in 2 weeks, this could be a year later. They can search and find it on YouTube. You don't have that option on Facebook. Also with Facebook, a lot of times if you tweet out, a post on there, people can go there and sometimes they can't see it. Or they have to be logged in. All kinds of things can happen. So use your Facebook video. Use your Facebook for updates. Don't just use Facebook. No matter if you have 1 million people there and your YouTube channel has 0. You need both. Also, connecting with your speakers, your sponsors, maybe local businesses, depending on your type of event. You're going to do all this as your Facebook page.
Right.
So I may go over and like a speaker's page as my personal profile. That's not the same. What I want you to do and what your social media manager for your event should be doing is finding the speakers, the sponsors, the venues, all of these people, and liking them as your event branded page. And that way they can go in and interact. And that is going to be a whole different ball game than me going in and trying to interact as myself rather than the page. I want everybody connected to that page, not to me.
And all your event details, you know, we talked about promoting your event details, but if you're doing an event in a different city, a different state, a different country, use your event page to share the details of how to access, you know, that country, how to get around in that city. You know, how do you, you know, what are the big issues getting in and out of that airport? How about hotel accommodations? There's so many things that you can talk about just within the local vicinity of that event and where the venue is. So what you can do to help you figure out those pieces of information is you can actually talk to your venue. You can talk to your local community in, you know, in where that venue is and where your event is, and gather those details and gather that information. They know their city, they know their country, so they're going to be willing to say, hey, you know, go here, do this, don't do this, watch out for this. I mean, when we were doing an event in Bali, you know, I probably read 30 different blogs about how scary Bali was, and you know, and so we're, you know, we created all this content that was like, hey, pay attention to these things. And it's not about scaring your audience, it's about informing them so they show up aware, they show up prepared.
I don't want to be in a foreign country's prison.
No, you don't want to be in a foreign country
because
prison,
I don't think anybody'd send for me.
so share that stuff from your page, and then of course you can share from your page into your group. But what you're doing is you're showing that, again, you're servicing your community. You care, you want them to be safe, you want them to have a good time, you want them to enjoy the local community wherever the event venue is.
Well, and the thing is, one small fear that you may not have could mean a no, I'm not going. So if I've never been to Bali, and I may be like, you know what, I heard a horror story from somebody traveling there,
right,
or I don't, you know about this or that. That one little horror story that I saw somewhere online 10 years ago or heard in the bar may keep me from attending your event.
right.
But if you can back up and give me the reassurance that that may have been just a freak thing, or maybe it was untrue, but if you can take my one little fear away that maybe you don't have, so you can't think about what is it you need to make it to the event okay and to feel good about going to the event. You have to go back to your audience and question them. See, you know, what's stopping them from pulling out that credit card to buy that ticket. And then you need to answer that, and you can do all that on your Facebook page.
Yep, absolutely, all of it. I think we've covered everything that you can share. I mean, I think we've covered all the details. So the last thing that you want to do on everything that you share on your Facebook page,
everything,
and we've talked about this now in a couple of videos, is to hashtag and watermark everything that every image, every piece of video, everything that you put out has your event branded hashtag and your logo. Everything.
Or the logo of your sponsor, or the
Sponsor
logo
logos,
of your speaker. Yeah.
It just needs to be branded with
hashtag.
And hashtag.
Because the hashtag is where your social media person for the event, like we said in other videos, is going to be able to handle your customer service. So customer service pre-event, it boils down to your branded page. You're going to use it to answer questions, to reassure everyone about coming to your event that it is right for them. If it's not right for them, that's okay. And this is a lot of customer service. And I think a lot of people miss that in when they hire a social media manager for an event, for anything.
Mm-hmm.
What a lot of people are thinking is they're going to put out, my event is on this day. I'm going to have this agenda. I'm going to have this. And that's what they think it is. And if you really want this to work, your social media manager should be a customer service representative. They are representing you.
Mm-hmm.
And in an event where, especially if you're charging high dollar, you're taking people out of country, it's more than just going down for a little meetup down the street.
Mm-hmm.
That customer service and that social media manager is of utmost importance,
Mm-hmm.
and especially on Facebook, since that is where a lot of people gather. So it's more than just having a Facebook page and putting up little updates. You're laughing at me because I really get into the customer service end of it, and that is something we've had
But we've
problems
had
with.
problems with it. So, yeah, it's a big issue.
Yeah, people don't understand when I start requesting all of these FAQs. I want all the troubleshooting. I want all kinds of stuff. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
why? And I'm like, because where are they gonna get these questions answered? They're not just gonna, if they've got a question, they're not gonna pull out that credit card and buy. Have I said that enough times? If they don't feel comfortable. And that's what part of Facebook is making them feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Do you still hate Facebook?
Still hate Facebook.
Do you see where it's very important?
Oh, I know it's important. I still hate Facebook.
I knew she'd come around. So thanks for watching. We've got a lot more content in this playlist. Be sure to subscribe. Give us a like, a dislike, asking questions you have down below. And what else?
We've got live Q&As coming up. So if you want, and we've got free bonus content material. So if you want access to the live Q&A and to all of our downloadable material, then you need to go over to eventsbylany.com/knowledgebase or click on the link below and sign up to get on our members only list, and we will be giving you access to our live Q&As when they come up. And you don't want to miss this, really. You don't. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. I'll just agree.
All right, so that's everything.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.